Over 25 live tournament wins. Over 90 final tables. Almost $20 million in live earnings.
I came to Atlantis this week to win the PCA.
I want to take down the main event more than anything.
Winning will be just another day of my life.
In their way, poker's youngest ever Triple Crown winner.
I've come to the PCA to win it.
Strap in for the second half of day 3. Halfway through day 3 of the PokerStars.com PCA 10 at Atlantis, and the action's already been heavy. Last time, the bubble burst and the free rolling began. 44 players were frantically flung to the rail.
Good luck. Everyone loves me and 2 people hate me.
And the Mizrakis saw more action than Jason Statham.
The nut flush. 3-way all in.
Now, just 100 remain as the competition to climb the payout ladder begins. We've witnessed a flurry of eliminations since the bubble burst, but assuming the action slows down, we've still got 3 days to go to crown our champion. Young guns Joe Siroc and Nicholas Godoy have been battling for the chip lead in the field. Meanwhile, we've got Jake Cody and Robert Mizrachi on our feature table. The Mizrachi brothers have now traded places inside the poker room. Grinder will watch on from our secondary feature table as Robert and Jake are set for round 2 under the lights.
I came to Atlantis the last minute to become successful as I did in the past. Hopefully this will be a big redemption for me.
Even though I've won quite a lot, to win PCA main event and then be the first ever 2-time EPT champion, that would be amazing.
Take a seat as the day 3 battle continues.
In the words of the Joker, and here we go. Speaking of Jokers, Michael Lippmann and Grinder are old pals from South Florida. That's their super secret handshake. Grinder's at our secondary feature table. Not like Big Brother Rob, who's on our main feature table. Wow, Mueller, get up in that pretzel, ship the carbs. And there is Jake Cody, the newest member of Team Pro. I keep trying to haze the new guy, but apparently English people are impervious to alcohol.
I think you'll find that all English poker players are teetotal.
I call.
Well, Jake has the table chip lead, Rob Mizrachi at the opposite end of the spectrum with less than half the tournament average. Other players at the table include some familiar faces, Jeremy Kotler, Guillaume Rivet, and Pretzel Guy, Greg Mueller, the former professional hockey player. Blinds 3,000, 6,000 with a 500 ante. Mizrachi and Mueller have both folded. Action's on Jake Cody. Jack 10 off.
It's a little loose in a full ring from early, but yeah, no big deal.
He raises 13,500. Passed around to Mark DeFaria.
My boy.
Fold the 7-5. Yellow Bookema. Fold the button.
Not a mandatory call at all on the button facing an early raise.
Jeremy Kotler has passed from the small blind. Queen Jack off for Paul Knabel in the big blind.
Yeah, this, on the other hand, is a very standard hand to defend your big blind with.
He does call. Heads up to the flop. King Deuce Tray. 2 diamonds. Knabel checks.
Knabel's got Canada.
And Jake continues for 14,500.
Monkey C-bet, monkey do, win pot. That's ABC poker right there. A always, B, B, C, Cody. Coffees for Cody's.
Jake, one of 2 EPT champions remaining in the field, aiming for that second title, the other Mohsen Charania. We've also got some nearly men in the field. 2 runners-up. Dimitar Danchev was second in San Remo in Season 8. Olivier Bousquet, second in Campione the same season.
Playing against Carlos Mortensen, the winningest player ever on the World Poker Tour. But he hasn't made too much of a splash here on the EPT tougher fields.
Mortensen is going to bet the river here. 18,000. Bousquet calls. And Mortensen will muck.
I didn't see what happened.
The skate shows ace-queen.
Carlos tried to bluff the river, got insta-snap called by top pair second kicker. Loved you in 7 Psychopaths.
Eugene Kachalov going deep in this year's main event following his win in the Super High Roller back in 2011.
And we're down to 1 complete set of brothers left in the tournament. Max Greenwood's still alive. Unfortunately, his brother, Sam Greenwood, is out. Sad clown. I know parents aren't supposed to pick favorites, but I bet it's Max.
So 93 players remain, and an all-in at our secondary feature table. The grinder has shoved.
The final brothers at risk.
How much is it? Did you look at your cards? Did you look at your cards yet? Look at your cards before you ask. 47.
47.
47? Called.
I guess you look.
Reinhard Verden puts the grinder at risk. Nika folds the small blind. Klodnicki folds the big. Grinder's in great shape here.
Ace 10.
2-1 favorite.
Are you suited? That makes up for it.
Verdun doubled through Grinder earlier. He could get those chips back now.
Not looking good for Verdun, looking great for Grinder.
Verdun trades his 3 outs for 4. King gives him a gutter ball.
Turns a deuce.
No king or ace.
And ace will chop it.
It's a queen, a full house for Mike Mizrachi, and he doubles up.
And we've still got 1 complete set of brothers. Take that, Greenwoods.
Here we go. Chris and I are coming back.
To the outer tables. And Grinder's buddy from Miami, Michael Lippmann, who's just called the 3-bet of George Sinishtai. So heads up to the flop. Ace 9-9.
All in.
It's not Lippmann's go.
Whoops.
I'm so lost.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You're not the only one.
Sinishtai was meant to be first to speak on the flop.
No, coach. Don't do that.
I check.
All in.
It means the aggressive action stands.
Maybe a hand like ace-king. Now, Lippmann has a tendency to be an over-celebrator, so I'm going to tell you right now, he's very philanthropic just in case he doubles up and blows the roof off the joint.
Sinishtai folds.
So he gets it quietly. All right, maybe his over-celebrating days are over now that we're all in the money.
Michael Jordan.
Well done, Joe. You jinxed it.
That was weird.
Looks like we're about to lose the other Greenwood.
Good game, bro.
Good luck, guys.
Shaquille O'Neal! What, I thought we were just randomly naming basketball players.
Quick update on the tournament chip leader. It's no longer Nicolas Godoy. It's now Joe Sirach, who has a stack of 1.3 million. Godoy's still high on the leaderboard, second in chips overall. He's the only other player in the tournament with more than $1 million.
Godoy just better hope his stack doesn't plunge like his neckline. Come on!
Well, there is the young Argentinian.
And there is neckline cam. Yes!
Is it just me, or are you getting a bit worried about Joe? Take your tweets, PCA 10. Back at the feature table, action on Mark DeFaria, who's got ace-8.
This is an all right hand to raise with from late-ish position.
And he is going to raise to 13,000. Ace-4 for Yellow Bookema. He folds. Kotler gives up the button. Paul Knabel in the small blind. There's 9-10. He'll pass. Pocket sixes for Rob Mizrachi in the big.
13.
Usually a spot for a just call.
And he does call. Heads up to the flop. Top pair for DeFaria, a set of sixes for Mizrachi.
Now this flop won't always be a super huge cooler, but with their stacks, it's likely to get ugly.
Mizrachi checks to the razor. DeFaria continues for 18,000.
Now if Rob raises here, which he could very well do, ace-8 is in a heck of a spot.
He does raise.
Problem is that Rob's going to be doing this with all of his draws too, so DeFaria's pretty much got to call. Plus DeFaria has the ace of diamonds, so he knows he's not up against the nut draw. If he does what I think he's going to do, he's going to get fried like a piece of Canadian bacon.
I'm all in. All in. I call.
All in and a call.
That's how you don't slow roll. DeFaria isn't drawing dead, but he's pretty close. No matter what, he's going to need runner.
Eight of diamonds.
Griner says Rob's a jinx, but here he comes to sweat his brother.
It is the 8 of diamonds.
Wow.
Well, I mean,
Diamond
can't make
dead.
it flush.
You can only make the 8 or the ace.
And what about a deuce?
Nimble, too, that Grinder. Diamonds are no good for DeFaria, but he can make a bigger house.
The river. It's a 5. Rob Mizrachi doubles up.
A shining example of how the anti-slow roll can flow seamlessly into the silent celebration.
Hold on, 50, 75.
Well played, well executed, well celebrated.
DeFaria down to 39k. Rob Mizrachi up over $250,000 as he makes another deep run at the PCA.
My name is Robert Mizrachi. I'm from Miami. I came to Atlantis the last minute because my brother's here and just a lot of success in the past year. 30-minute flight and big prize pool. It was in 2007. I had a lot of fun. I came fourth and came really close to winning it. It was exciting. 3 years after that, in 2010, I came really close too.
I'm on.
There's the shove and the call. We're off to the races.
It's a big coin flip.
No ace, no king for Mizrachi.
I lost.
And Robert Mizrachi is gone.
Well, just missing the final table, I mean, just kind of bothered me a lot, you know, because I played my heart out and nothing he could do. I was pretty excited to play in this main event. I didn't even see the beach yet. I want to take it down. Hopefully this will be a big redemption for me if I win it. I definitely want to do very well in this.
The Versailles Garden. Comprised of the remains of a 14th century French monastery, its serene landscape lies on the eastern side of Paradise Island. The cloister, as it's more commonly referred to, is one of the Bahamas' treasures, rich in culture, beauty, and tranquility. Away from the island's sun, inside the poker room, things have been anything but peaceful. Earlier in the day, Rob Mizrachi and Jake Cody traded blows at our secondary feature table. Mizrachi made a mistimed hero call, doubling up Cody. First round to our Triple Crown winner.
I have around 140k, it's 2k, 4k. It's folded round to me early position. I have ace-5 of hearts and raised. Everyone folds, and then Robert Mizrachi calls in the big blind. He has me covered. And the flop comes Jack 9-7. Kind of missed it, but I'm not going to give up just yet anyway. Check. He checks. I bet 9,500 into 20k-ish, and he calls. The turn brought the ace of clubs, which obviously for the best guy on the deck for me. He checks, and I bet 18k. After waiting about 30 seconds, he check raises to 39k. And at this point, to be honest, I just didn't believe in it. I was thinking of a way to like get the most money in the hand. I felt like I had the best hand. I took quite a long while and then decided to call. The river brought a 4, and then he checked. I think he would just bet all the hands that are better than mine. I think that pretty much guarantees I have the best hand now, if there was any slight doubt, which I didn't personally think there was. And I decided to just ship it all in just to try and look weak. And he ended up taking quite a while. It took around 4 minutes. I ended up calling.
Call.
And I had the best hand, won a big pot and doubled up.
Things going very well for Jake Cody on day 3 of the PokerStars.com PCA 10 main event. Line still 3,000, 6,000. Action on Robert Mizrachi. A raise from early position with ace-10 off. Folded to Cody. And there's King-Jack off.
Yeah, Jake's not folding this in position to Rob. These guys are both pretty deep, so it's possible Jake may elect to try to play a bigger pot.
Attorney? How much? 1K?
Looks like he's going for raising chips. It is a 3-bet to 26,500. Reveille folds the ace-7 suited. Book him at folds the small blind. Jeremy Cutler folds the big blind. Action back on Mizrachi.
This isn't a great hand out of position, but it's just good enough to defend his original raise with. Ace-10 is basically the cutoff because it's the smallest ace you can still flop Broadway with.
While Mizrachi flops top pair. Cody, with position and the betting lead, flops second pair. Mizrachi checks to him.
Now it's a bloated pot, and this is a flop no one can fold on. Jake's probably compelled to continue here most of the time. Rob's gonna call with all better hands, but probably plenty of worse ones too.
Jake's C-bet is 25,000.
Small relative to the size of the pot, but in a 3-bet pot, it's gonna be just as effective as a bigger bet.
Mizrachi calls. We go to the turn, which is the deuce of hearts, pairing the board.
Rob's now chopping with all aces that aren't ace-king.
He checks to Jake. And Jake checks behind. The river is a 10, giving Mizrachi a better 2-pair.
Really good card for Rob, because now he's beating all aces except ace-king, and he can value bet the aces that think they're chopping.
He's made it 38,500. And Jake Cody shoves. I didn't see that coming.
Holy shnikes, he has done it again, only this time it is not for value.
See how me cover? Yeah.
Rob bet the river so small, I think it kind of turns his hand face up a bit as a value hand, but not super strong.
No.
Plus, when Rob's bluffing, you instantly win the pot. Jake's trying to rep a straight or a slow-played boat, and I think he can do it pretty credibly in this spot.
And of course, last time he made this move, he got Mizrachi to call pretty light.
And a play like this only has to work around 60% of the time for it to be profitable, and it's going to work at least that often, I think. Rob's got the absolute worst hand he should be thinking about calling with here. It's the kind of hand you're going to spend a lot of time in the tank with.
Cody giving nothing away.
And I'm sure part of Rob's struggle here is he might just read this as Jake trying to blow him off a chop. And he knows he's beating all chop hands. I think anything worse than this is an easy fold. Anything better, and calling is a little easier too.
Wow.
Obviously a huge decision from Mizrachi's tournament.
I could beat ace queen. Sick.
Agreed. Whether he gets called or not, this is an awfully sick play by Jake Cody.
You could have an ace, hoping I fold an ace. Have ace king, king's full. He wouldn't do that. Doesn't make any sense.
Uh-oh, he's putting it together like Chaz at the end of Usual Suspects.
I don't want to go out like this. Scared you have an ace. If you have an ace, you're going to make that play to get me off the ace. With Jack queen suited.
That's why this is such a great bluff.
10's full.
Jake is credibly repping a very wide range of winning hands.
Mizrachi tortured.
Damn, I'm so pissed if I'm wrong.
There's only one way to find out.
If I'm right. Wow. So sick. Oh my god.
Looks like he's going to make a decision.
Oh my god.
Or maybe not.
I honestly haven't seen someone in the tank this long since they fed the sharks earlier.
Well, we need to get to the secondary feature table. Grinder is a short stack. He has ace-king in the big blind, facing a raise from Joel Micker on the button. We'll keep an eye on Rob. We'll go back to the main feature table if it looks like something's happening. Grinder has 3-bet, and Micker will fold.
Nice picture-in-picture. It's like he's backstage at X Factor.
Grinder wins that pot. Back to his brother on the main stage. He's been thinking now for nearly 4.5 minutes.
You don't get a read off of him.
Jake Cody's a harder read than Cloud Atlas. Stone-faced.
Doesn't make any sense. Last time he pushed all in, he had
Just an ace, but it was good.
Check the turn with an ace, then you hope I bet. Now you think I have an ace. Push it all in because you want to get me off an ace. Or an ace beat. Oh my god.
This is so long.
150. If I'm wrong, I'm out. If I'm right, got 400 and change. Oh my god. Did he have the same hand too? We would do that with the same hand too. Who would 3-bet with? 3-bet with. Who would 3-bet with Jack Queen? That's what he saw. That's all. 10-10. Ace King or 10-10. Or Ace Queen, Ace Jack, Ace Queen.
Grinder is stressed. It's so cute the way they actually care about each other.
The brothers go deep in so many tournaments together. They've shared final tables. Obviously, Grinder's got his own tournament to worry about as well.
Easily the most stressed out I've ever seen him.
Total bluff.
Ding!
Tough decision, sorry.
You think?
I don't know. It's one of the toughest decisions ever. If I'm wrong. If I'm right and I fold, it's not even bad.
Jake's gotta like the sound of that.
Obviously, this is a huge pot for both players. Cody could potentially move over the $500,000 mark. Rob Mizrachi could potentially make his third deep run in the PCA main event. Hang on a second, Grinder is all in at the secondary feature table. Actually, he shoved on Chris Klodnicki, putting Klodnicki all in.
Hope Klodnicki decides faster than Rob. It's only an hour-long show.
We're watching two big decisions on both our feature tables.
Rob and Klodnicki both with marginal best hands.
Klodnicki calls, he'll double up.
One pair.
The worst pair.
You got it. Ace, ace.
Grinder takes a big hit, but he's still in it.
He's left with 40K, so let's get back to his brother at the main feature table. Rob Mizrachi has been thinking now for nearly 8 minutes.
I haven't seen someone in the tank this long since David Blaine.
I call a clock. I hate to do it.
Yeah. I was going to call a clock too.
Jeremy Cutler's called for the clock. Rob Mizrachi was actually going to call it on himself.
And Robbie the ring announcer off to find a floor man. Or woman.
When the tournament staff arrive, they'll put Rob Mizrachi on a 60-second countdown. They'll have to make a decision. Jake Cody hasn't even broken a sweat.
It's impressive.
All right, I call.
He calls! After 8 minutes and 22 seconds, he calls!
Cancel the floor person, and that has got to feel great for Rob. Props to Jake Cody, too.
It was tough.
It's not an easy call.
It's not easy. I thought there was a chance he's going to do that with Ace Queen, Ace Jack, and somewhere.
Good call.
Thanks.
Put the heat on. It was a good bet. Said it was a good bet.
I mean, it was not easy.
Robert Mizrachi finally makes the right decision and doubles up.
And Jake Cody hits him with the good call in spite of having his bluff snapped off. Classy dude, that Jake Cody. Sick bluff, sicker call.
Here at the PCA 10 main event, Robert Mizrachi and Jake Cody have had quite the day 3 battle. Cody took round 1, but round 2 went to Mizrachi, using insight from their previous duel to double his stack.
With the previous call he made against me, it was a hero call. I felt he would have to give me credit this time, and was hoping he would, but he ended up calling.
Actually, that bad call gave me the reason to make that good call later on. All right, I call.
Maybe I shouldn't try to bluff him Mizrachi.
The last guy tried to bluff him as Rocky ended up at the bottom of the ocean. Not for anything bad, he just went broke and went out for a scuba dive. I guess it was a blow-up in that it was a bluff gone wrong, but it had really solid logic behind it, and it nearly worked.
You want some more chips?
I got enough right now.
Yeah, I think you can take a break.
We have a new tournament chip leader.
You can take a break.
Patrick Kelly now playing nearly 1.5 million.
That's what 241 big blinds looks like. That's a lot of dimp. It's also what it looks like when you crack aces with queens, and then your aces hold up against kings. Okay.
At our secondary feature table, we are sweating with Michael Mizrachi. And Chris Klodnicki has just bet enough to put Grinder all in.
Well, we probably would have shoveled this ourselves, but with Sloppy Claude doing this in front of us, we don't have to play. He's probably not raising that much with something King-Queen is doing great against. We could be racing, but we could also be dominated. Most of the time, we're going to be up against some kind of ace, and we're rarely going to be dominating. I know you kids like them sloppy. Plus, Grinder's picked up a few more chips than he had last time we saw him. He may not be in desperation mode yet.
He lets it go. And Stefano Rosamondo in the big blind also folds.
Big hand. No.
Want to see the good one or the bad one?
Ace 10? I think that's what I think you have.
No.
2 5s? It was a race. Eh.
Ace 10. Just don't play my hand second.
Huh? No matter how you dominate. It's a bad fold.
Now's where Grinder gets him to say what he had.
Do you have an ace in your hand?
There's a flip, probably.
You have a pair?
Yeah.
Or king, queen?
Yeah. Flip.
I'm cool with avoiding a flip.
Ooh, the new tournament chip leader, Patrick Kelly, is moving to our main feature table.
Hope he hired someone to help him carry his chips. Look at him, he's exhausted.
Who is coming over here? You have all those chips? Did we play together earlier today?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness.
How many chips is that? 2 million?
Those are all yours too?
It can't be his.
Those yellows are his too? What's been happening out there? Who have you been busting? That's what I want to know. You got more than the whole table.
Good luck, Patrick.
Thank you.
Welcome to the table.
Thanks.
Brought the average age up too. Love it.
Despite being a terrifyingly huge former pro hockey player, Greg Mueller is about as sweet as Canadian maple syrup. Hey, buddy, nice racks.
Action's been folded around to Paul Knable. He'll pass. Rob Mizrachi, not going to play this hand.
Greg is so distracted by those chips. Easy, buddy.
He folds. Pocket threes for Jake Cody on the button. Starts the hand with 143,000. Raises, makes it 12.5 to play. Guillaume Rivet in the small blind has junk. He passes. And our chip leader, Patrick Kelly, has 9-4 suited in the big blind.
I can't really recommend defending this, but he can certainly muscle Jake around after the flop if he wants.
He calls.
It all depends on whether or not he can play after the flop, I guess.
Well, Kelly has flopped an open-ended straight draw.
Wow. Jake's going to continue with his underpair. Don't think Kelly's folding, though.
Jake bets 13,000.
Kelly can really put the pressure on here if he wants, and probably should. I raise you this rack.
He actually raises to 39,000.
Has to fold. He's practically dead against so many hands.
And Jake does fold.
Don't try to bluff him as Rocky, and don't raise the big blind of a guy who has more racks than you have chips. 2 valuable lessons today.
Patrick Kelly wins another pot and consolidates that chip lead. He's playing almost 1.5 million. Former chip leader Joe Siroc lost a big pot to Darren Elias, so he's dropped down to 4th. Nicholas Godoy still 2nd on the leaderboard. We've got 4 players with 7-figure stacks. Action on the feature table on Greg Mueller. Jake Cody actually folded out of turn there. Slap on the wrist, Jake. Ace King for Yellow Bookema.
Yellow Bookema, what's the future like?
Looks like the Dutchman is raising.
12,000.
He makes it 12,000 from the cutoff. Knable in the small blind. Folds. Rob Mizrachi in the big blind has 5 deuce off and calls.
Oh, Robert Mizrachi, who do you think you are? Patrick Kelly? This hand is a fold. Hey, do we get flying cars?
What we do get is a 5 on the flop and no help for Ace King.
Rob outflops the time traveler.
11.
Bookema continues for 11,000. Rob quickly calls.
Yeah, he can't fold now. This is pretty annoying when this happens to Ace King. Oh, never mind.
Bookerman moves in front.
Check.
Mizrachi checks a second time. Bookerman can legitimately bet for value now.
Future man knew this ace was coming anyway.
23,000.
Rob's picked up a gut shot to go with his pair.
Okay, well, he calls again.
He'll do that. He will do that.
The river is another 10. And Mizrachi now leads the river for 75,000.
That is a great card to bluff at to get someone off a single ace. I just don't know how you can ever bluff a Mizrachi or ever believe a Mizrachi. But it's a really, really great spot to bluff.
And it works. Bookerman folds.
Nice hand, Rob.
You got bluff, brah, and Soylent Green is made of people.
To our secondary feature table, where action's on Grinder. Ace, Queen of Hearts in the cutoff. He raises 13,500 total.
Just one raise for now, but with ace queen suited in his stack, he's happy to 4-bet get it in if he meets any resistance.
Button folds, small blind passes. George Clyde Smith in the big blind has queens.
And he's gonna meet some resistance. Clyde Smith also gonna be happy to get it in here.
There's the re-raise. There's the all-in.
Cool. Queens.
And Clyde Smith calls and Grinder's in horrible shape.
He's got an overcard and hearts working for him. That is about it.
All of Michael the Grinder Mizrachi's chips are over the line. He is at risk and way behind. And no help from on that board.
Could be the final chapter in a tale of two Mizrachis.
You gonna reflop?
Is that a thing? Is a reflop a thing?
No. He is drawing dead on the turn.
Nice hand, guys. Good luck, guys. Ace. Good luck. Good luck, guys.
Okay, man.
Payout on 8.
And Grinder leaves Rob, the last remaining Mizrachi, to defend the family name. Grinder looks like he's looking for someone to punch. I assure you he's not, but he still scared the bejesus out of our producer.
Kind of played itself.
No way, dude. It was all skill. Now let's see how skillfully you can stack those chips so we can get on to the next hand.
I'm out of tournament, but I was happy with my performance. I've been, quite a few pots, and I try to build to an enormous stack, and that's what I do best. If I try to get as many chips and put myself in the best position to win the tournament. But unfortunately, it went the other way, and at least one of us are still in, and definitely rooting for him. And you live and you learn, and you move on to the next tournament.
Now we know that Grinder lived, but do we really think he learned?
On one of the outer tables, Adam Bitts has just shoved.
All in for just a little bits.
Eugene Kachalov with the decision.
Just over 10 bigs.
All in call.
Kachalov calls.
Hang on. We should bluff cards.
On their backs. And Kachalov in the lead, but Bitts not that far behind.
Likely to be 10-4 over and out for Adam Bitts.
Needs a 10 or a 4 on the river.
And it can't be a heart.
It's a 9. Eugene Kachalov KOs Adam Bitts.
I know it hurts a little bit. Look at this kid. He's in bits and pieces.
Please, Stapleton. No more bits.
65. I think I's pretty good. Yes.
Nice.
Staying on the outer tables, Maxim Lobzhenidze has shoved from the hijack. Michael Lippmann's called, but there has been a re-raise, a re-shove from George Sinishtai, and he's got Lippmann covered.
So at 203, you have me covered.
Correct.
I can't imagine any hand Lippmann just called with before is that great.
You want me to call?
Can't talk German, there's a third player in the hand.
Yeah, don't forget about Maxim Lobzhenidze. I just like saying his name.
Lippmann calls all in and shows sevens, which is somehow the best hand.
Come on, un poquito.
Пожалуйста, 8.
Come on. Un poquito, un poquito, un poquito. We need baby.
Dealer's not Spanish.
No one is?
Да, один раз восьмерку,
Un
пожалуйста.
poquito, baby, 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 baby. Un poquito.
Seven's holding.
Un poquito.
8.
Baby, baby, baby.
They do hold.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
The kid is back, alive and well. That's right.
Oi.
Michael, Jordan.
Isn't here.
Triple up, baby. Triple up, baby.
Nice hand, nice hand.
You hear that, Cheeto and Grinder? Triple up, baby.
And he's American, too. Hooray.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, that's it. Sit down, please, sir.
Sevens did it. That's right, sevens. That was my Achilles heel.
I'm pretty sure he's misusing that.
Meanwhile, Maxim Lobzhenidze is eliminated. Don't think he was a fan of that celebration. And George Sinishtai's stack has been decimated, but he's taken it well. To be fair, what would poker be without colourful characters like Michael Lippmann? He describes himself as a professional poker player, but he's really a businessman. He owns a couple of businesses. He's 43 years old, from Miami, and his biggest result in poker was a 478th place finish in the 2012 World Series of Poker main event. Worth noting, he has a nickname and a catchphrase.
My slogan is bang, 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 bang. That's what I'm talking about, baby. I'm ready to win this. I'm excited to win this. I feel everything going my way. My birthday's tomorrow. I'm ready for the final table. Bring it on. Coach, Michael Jordan, the Lippmann kid, whatever you want to call me, I'm going to be taking it home, baby.
I just want to tell everyone, Michael Lippmann runs a charity that provides a traveling basketball league for inner city youth from broken homes. So he's going to get a pass on what we just witnessed, but this is the last time.
Remember, everyone who makes the final table is guaranteed at least 166K, with the winner receiving the better part of 1.9 million.
Whoop, whoop.
Blinds up to 4,000, 8,000 with a 1,000 ante. Action on the feature table on Jake Cody. And he shoves with deuces.
Forced to shove for about 14 bigs, really hoping he doesn't get called. Unless someone wants to call a deuce tray.
It's like 120.
Blues are 100.
Cutler with sevens in the small blind will call.
Easy call.
So Jake Cody is at risk.
Don't want to see that.
Jake really hoping this dealer drops a deuce.
He's a huge underdog here. No help from on the flop.
Seven's looking really good so far.
The turn. Deuce!
Oh my God. I had the deuce of spades.
But you didn't have the deuce of heart.
It was a case card. Wow.
A one-outer. Cody may still be a contender in this thing.
Cutler looking for a 7 for the resuck. But it's a king.
At least it shouldn't have hurt too bad.
So Jake Cody gets the double up.
Apparently the rumors are true. If you want to open the luck box, you got to use the Da Vinci Cody.
Jake now has nearly $250,000. We'll find out how you can get live updates during the next PCA by going to PokerStars.com. Welcome back to the second installment of Day 3 of the PokerStars.com PCA 10. We've seen Mizrachi's up, Mizrachi's out, explosive highs,
Bang, bang, bang! Yeah!
and a new chip leader emerge.
You have all those chips? You got more than the whole table.
But give it up for Jake Cody. Today's been a mixed bag for the English pro, but Jake's managed to almost double his stack since that bluff against Rob Mizrachi went wrong. It was a ballsy bluff, but we expect nothing less from poker's youngest Triple Crown winner.
My first major live tournament was EPT Deauville and won it. Then 6 months later, September, I won WPT London. Just before the World Series of Poker, I'd done a few interviews and they were all mentioning the Triple Crown. I'd not really thought about it and then realised it's actually a pretty big deal. So I saw the 25K was the first event of the series and decided to play it, take a bit of a shot at it, and ended up winning that too. When I won the bracelet, I was actually the youngest and quickest ever to win the Triple Crown. I think only 3 other players have won it before me, so to be in that elite group of players was definitely something special. To win PCA main event, I've actually been dreaming about it a little bit, just like a little daydreaming about how amazing it would be. So many players fighting to be the first guy to win the EPT for a second time. Everyone wants to do it, and I want to be that guy.
Kid won the Triple Crown at 22 years old. At 22, I was borrowing money from my parents and getting the Triple Frown.
Well, on this hand, we are going to sweat with Jake Cody. We'll play the hand from his perspective. It's Greg Mueller who's under the gun. He folds. So what are Jake's cards? Kings!
We got Jake Cody, we got kings, we are doubling up. Now don't mess this up, us.
Jake will raise, 17,000. Reve folds, as do Kelly and Elijah Berg. Jeremy Kotler on the button. He's not going to give us any action. Paul Knabel folds the small blind. Robert Mizrachi in the big blind.
Well, we know Rob likes to defend with absolute monkey dung, so I'm loving this so far.
Heads up to the flop. And that flop is Queen, Queen 7 with 2 diamonds.
Typically, we're gonna bet here.
Mizrachi has checked to Cody. And Jake does not continue, he checks behind. 8 of hearts on the turn.
Well, here's why we didn't see bet. People who defend light are way more likely to bluff than most.
Only 6.
And we're taking a line now where we're trying to induce Rob to bluff, and it looks like it's working.
He's bet 26,000.
I like a smooth call here, just let him fire again on the river.
Jake does call. The river. The 3 of diamonds.
Hopefully he bets at it again. If we bet, Rob could fold.
Mizrachi checks.
All right, well, I think we're totally safe to bet for value in this spot. Not sure how likely we are to get a call, though. I wouldn't go too big, maybe just like half the pot.
Looks like Jake is counting out the bet.
I call.
42,000, snap call by Mizrachi, who shows a queen.
What? That was bizarre. I actually think it was a mistake for Rob to not raise the river, unless he was getting some ridiculous strength read off of Jake. Check calling trips there is a weirder line than the ending to Dr. Strangelove.
Well, in the last 2 levels, Robert Mizrachi has increased his stack by more than 700%.
That's pretty good.
We've got a new lineup of players at our secondary feature table. Among them, Olivier Bousquet going heads up to the flop here against Manig Lerza. Lerza is checked top pair. Bousquet, with a set, bets 20,000.
Lerzer probably thinks he's got this hand locked up.
He calls the 20K.
I don't see how he gets away from this without Lerzing a ton.
5 of spades on the turn.
Flush card comes in. Maybe this will save him some money.
He checks a second time.
Still checking to the last aggressor.
Bousquet bets a second time, 45,000.
Leher. Seher. I mean, what chance do you have with a name like that?
Well, he's currently drawing to no cards in the deck.
He's playing cautiously, at least.
9 of hearts on the river.
And that's not going to let him off any easier.
Looks like Bousquet will go for a full 3 streets of value here. He bets 126,000 on the river.
I call.
Lerza calls.
Call. I have a set. Set? Wow. Wow. No set.
Lerzer got stubborn there, thinking he could easily be up against a bluffer on a scary board, but he was wrong. He was dead wrong.
Well, a decent-sized pot and a decent-sized stack for this PCA veteran.
Honestly, I don't have that many great PCA memories. I haven't done that well poker-wise while I've been here. 2011 was actually the only year that I cashed in the PCA main. I never really had that many chips and just was kind of treading water into the money through the bubble. I ended up playing at the table of the eventual winner, Galen Hall, who I didn't really know who he was at the time. I thought he played phenomenally well. I actually wasn't surprised at all when I heard that he won the tournament.
Galen Hall, the champion of the 2011 PCA main event.
I think he's really one of the best players.
An amazing performance from a talented poker player.
He kind of really broke into the tournament scene that tournament, and I remember that pretty distinctly.
So, Olivier's favorite PCA memory is of someone else winning. Boy, he really hasn't had much fun here, has he? Oh, and well, if he keeps getting coolered like this, I can see why.
He pushed Carlos Mortensen all in. He is way behind. Luckily, he's got a lot more chips than Mortensen, so isn't at risk.
He's about as big a dog as you can be before the flop.
Does flop a straight draw.
Yeah, that is a pretty sweaty flop.
Busquet looking for a 10.
No additional sweats.
Aces hold, and Carlos Mortensen doubles up.
Great, now Carlos Mortensen's gonna win every tournament on the EPT for the next 10 years. Huge blow to Busquet's stack. At least we don't have to reshoot his favorite memory.
The other prominent player on our secondary feature table is Jonathan Roy. He's one of several French Canadians still alive. There's his buddy Yann Dion. And the third member of their posse is on our feature table, Guillaume Rivet.
The French Canadians are tearing up the PCA like a plate of poutine.
Rivet's not going to play this hand. Can't be easy, having tournament chip leader Patrick Kelly directly on his left. Action's been folded around to Jeremy Kotler on the button. He's got 9-10 of spades.
Totes fine to get it in there with 10-9 suited on the button. Mr. Kotler!
Got no idea what that was about. There's a raise, 16,000 total.
Gabe Kaplan, know your predecessors, my friend.
Ace tray mucked in the small blind. 9-3 of clubs in the big blind is a call for Rob Mizrachi.
Oh, Rob Mizrachi, you are incorrigible.
Ace 7-8 up and down draw for Kotler. Not much for Mizrachi, but it's not going to stop him donk betting.
This guy is all over the map. Just taking a random stab here at Kotler. Not a fan of being stabbed, though. What?
He calls. Jack of clubs on the turn. Kotler now with the straight. Mizrachi with a flush draw.
Well, isn't this interesting?
Mizrachi now checks.
Mizrachi's actually got 2 draws. I think his plan is to check call, hoping to get there for cheap.
27,000 is the bet from Kotler. Mizrachi calls.
And there's no real reason for Kotler to think his hand is susceptible, so yeah, that wasn't a huge bet.
And would you Adam and Eve it? It's a club on the river.
Oh man, Armiz is about to welcome back Kotler with a vicious club boot to the face.
55,000. Kotler calls. Yeah.
So sick, dude.
Yeah, don't see how you can fold there, really.
Wow.
Armiz making everyone else at the table are miserable. Must be nice, buddy. 9 tray, that's some home game she right there.
So Rob Mizrachi finishes day 3 with around 800,000 chips.
Okay, everyone write down your name, your chip counts, and one warm fuzzy about the person sitting to your right. Eugene Kachalov goes deep at the PCA like it's his job. Oh wait, it is his job. He's a professional poker player.
He's one of several big names returning for day 4.
And there was my pick for today, Josie Rock and Roll. 59 people left. This is crazy. Here's my chip count. Top 10, maybe?
Jake Cody not among the chip leaders, but he will be back tomorrow, as will his nemesis, Rob Mizrachi. And the tournament chip leader, we're gonna need a bigger bag, Patrick Kelly.
2, possibly 3 bags.
Kelly will be bringing 1.75 million chips into day 4. Joe Sirok is second on the leaderboard. Nicholas Godoy is dropping down fast. Also in the top 16, former EPT runner-up Dimitar Danchev and the last remaining Mizrachi.
I definitely love to see my brother win every tournament, but I mean, you know, it just sucks that we can't beat it together. As long as Mizrachi gets there, I'm happy with it. It doesn't matter who. We just always there for each other and pull for each other all the way.
Next time, the push towards the final table is on.
All in. Okay.
And players are making their voices heard.
That's cojones, man.
You and Rob heads up.
I always do good in the island tournaments. I want to take down the main event more than anything.